The past year or so, I've worked with hundreds of different contractors, and pretty much they've always been answering these two questions right here. What is your goal for your business, and what is stopping you from achieving it? And it's always hit, this amount this year, this X goal, or grow my business to hire a new team, or start working on a business instead of in it. And this always required one thing, and that was capital. And how do you get capital is by getting more jobs. And the main thing when it comes to their business and getting more jobs was overall more leads. They weren't able to, do any of this stuff, hit that goal, grow their business to, hire a new team or so, or start a business. They always needed more jobs and more capital in order to do this. And that all came down to the amount of leads coming in each month. And more leads equals more revenue, which equals more goals achieved. And we'll go over here. And when it comes to business, there's always going to be different aspects where you're at $0 per month and you scale to 50K per month and then 100K, 200K. You're always climbing the ladder. And all of this is going to help you gain new knowledge and you learn new ways of how to go from 0 to 50 to 100 to 200. And there's always going to be differences between a business doing 50K, 100K, and 200K, and it's the sort of input that they're actually doing. So each stage is going to be, improvement on the last. And we'll go over here where you see doing all of these companies and businesses that are maybe doing like 50K, 100K, 200K, the one above you, say it's a stage above, they might be doing something that you aren't doing, which means the stage above you is either doing something you aren't doing now at a higher level. So maybe you are going door to door, and that's why you're stuck at 50K a month, and the people doing 200K a month are not going door to door because they know that's not, the best, you know, that's not worth their time in business. So now they're doing meta ads and stuff that they can pay in exchange of time and use money rather than time, and they're doing something you are doing now, but maybe on a higher level. Maybe you are at 100K a month, but these people have a different system where they're spending more money on it. And they're maybe using the same system as you, but they have more money each month and they're delegating it to the system that's already working. Now, when it comes to this, like what's the difference between a 50K and a 200K contractor? And you'll see the key differentiator between them is a 50K contractor and a 200K contractor are main ways of getting leads and jobs. And everyone at or around 50K all do similar inputs. And even everyone at or 200K are doing similar inputs. And these inputs might be for 50K, for example, their primary lead generation is referrals, word of mouth, AngelList, and Thumbtack. And that's all they stick to, and that's all they know, and that's maybe why they're stuck at 50K a month. And I'll ask you here, which options do you think would be better? Which one is a 50K a month business or a 200K a month business? Passive acquisition with no active drivers. So they're just focusing on, you know, the referrals instead of more new leads, which obviously drives the referrals. If you have more leads coming to your business, you're going to be able to get more jobs and more referrals come naturally. Now, this is probably what a 50K a month per business is doing, versus rather a 200K per month business is not going to wait on leads. They're not going to expect referrals to come through, and they're not just going to think that the season is going to be okay 24/7. Because obviously the market fluctuates. The market is always different. And you'll see here, this is the correct option. They're always, finding a new way to get leads, and they're always hiring a new team, and they're always finding way to get jobs 24/7. Now, a 200K a month business, they already have a primary lead generation system, social media and paid ads. It is as simple as that. And they also have active acquisition. So they create the ability to create a referral pipeline. So all the leads and jobs coming through, they automatically have automation set up to ask somebody for a review, ask somebody for a referral, which obviously is going to generate the more business. Now, confidence in the projected number of leads for each month can begin to focus on short-term and long to growth to build the business, not just maintain. Now, if you had a system where you can predictably know how many leads are going to come in each month due to the fact of how much money you're putting in and the amount of ads you're running and stuff like that, you would be okay with that because you would know that at the end of the month you're going to get an ROI, or return on investment. And that is what these businesses are doing. They're able to put in a, you know, 10K, and in return say they, get a 70x ROAS, which we've had clients do. They come out with $700,000, and they're able to put even more money in and get more money back. And then their main issue from there is just hiring. Now, this is the most important part, because if you are a business where you're 50K a month and you're stuck and you don't know when you're going to have leads come through, you don't know jobs are going to come through because you're relying on Angie's List, on referrals, stuff like that, this is where the main issue occurs. And you can always hire a team and upgrade the equipment when you have the money flowing through. Now, if you're stuck and you don't know when you're going to have another job come through, that's kind of risky because you don't want to, pull out your expenses and over leverage yourself. So they have security in hiring teams, upgrading equipment, etc., because they have a system that works. They have a system set in place where they know they are going to get a return. Now, this is for people that are stuck at 50K a month and they're looking to expand to 200K a month, but all they need is the actual systems to get them there. Now, right here, I'm going to explain the systems that 200K a month businesses are using. And if you're stuck at 50K a month, these systems right here, you might have not used, maybe used in the past, but not correctly. I'm going to explain how they all work and how they all intertwine. So first is going to be meta ads. So this creates demand before people even know, they even know about your business. So pretty much you're just interrupting these people before they even know who you are, which gets them stuck in your brand, and your company is automatically going to be engraved in their head, as long as you have a good creative, obviously, because it's going to catch their attention. Now, the next step would obviously be your positioning and images/videos that you're going to use to convert cold audiences into warm leads fast. So maybe they do like your ad and maybe they're already in the search of working with your business. They click on the actual ad and they go to the landing page or the form that you have set there and they fill it out. Boom, there's leads right there already from meta ads. But that's not really the point of meta ads. The point of meta ads is to put your brand in their mind. And pretty much the most important part is going to be the retargeting that brings them back to your website after, say they go about their day and they don't come to your meta ads. This is the most important part, because if they didn't call the first time, they're going to call the second time after we have the retargeting set up, which makes them see your business pretty much everywhere. For example, if you don't know what retargeting is, say somebody goes and they're scrolling on Instagram or they're scrolling on Facebook and they see one of your ads, they're going to automatically go to Google, go to Microsoft, whatever browser it is, and your actual ad will be set there and they'll be able to see it, making them remember, oh, I need to go fill out a form. Oh, I need to go back and contact this person. So this actually builds your brand recognition in your local market and people start to recognize your name, driving more natural word of mouth, which at the end of the day, every business loves word of mouth. And if it's natural, that's the best way to go. Now, the next part is going to be Google LSA. So Google Guaranteed Badge instantly signals trust to homeowners. So Google LSA is actually going to be the opposite of Meta. So instead of interrupting people like Meta is doing, these are people already inactively searching for a business like yours and their wallet's already open, ready to spend. And the Google Guaranteed Badge already does the trust for you automatically. And LSA sites are literally put above everything on Google. Above PPC, above SEO, above everything. Now the kicker, you actually only pay per lead rather than per click. So you only pay when somebody actually contacts your business. That's why LSA converts 20 to 25% rather than PPC, which converts 6 to 8%. It's the most efficient paid channel in home services, period. Now, next is actually going to be Google PPC and SEO. So PPC gives you website volume on demand. So you turn it on and then you automatically get traffic. So SEO is long game. Every page that ranks is a lead and it costs you nothing in ad spend. But the real power is when you combine all three of these channels together: LSA, PPC, and organic. You pretty much dominate the entire homepage and competitors can't touch you. And the longer you invest in SEO, the cheaper the leads actually cost over time. So it compounds. Now, these are the three things that people that go from 50K a month to 200K a month usually use in their contracting business. And that's Meta Ads, Google LSA, and Google PPC and SEO that we all went over. In specific, for 200K a month businesses, they're using Meta Ads, like I said, Google LSA, Google PPC, and SEO. And these are all used together as non-negotiables, platforming their business, making sure that they have a sustainable system, bringing in an ROI each and every month. And ownership and control over how, where, and to who their business is being shown to is a huge priority. And the ability to adjust or increase lead flow is the reason why they ascended the 6 figures a month mark. Now, imagine you right now, you're probably maybe at 20, 50K a month, and you're wondering why are these people at 200K a month and they're able to scale to a million a month even? It is because they are able to choose how many leads they have coming through each month. If you guys are interested in discussing any of these systems, click the link below. You can actually book a one-on-one call with me and we'll go over it today. If not, like and subscribe, and hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.